Why are you looking so creepy like that?
Because I'm mad at your head. I'm mad at how you were wearing your head.
Okay, I'll fix it for you. Whose parents, who has the harder parents? Black, African American, or Korean? You think so?
Yeah.
I think you would have the harder parents because of your culture and academic and how much pressure there is to succeed in school.
In general, but my parents weren't like that though.
Really? That's very interesting.
Thankfully.
You had non...
Also, my parents were like that to my brother, but not to me.
Mm.
So I'm kind of special. But I was doing music, so maybe that's why.
See, my parents were actually pretty hard on me. But
yeah, your parents are pretty tough.
They made me work. They made me get good grades, or like try to make me get good grades.
They made you labor too.
They made me do a lot of work, like a lot of labor. A lot of cleaning, a lot of chores.
I didn't do anything.
You didn't do any chores?
I'm kind of spoiled.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I got spoiled too with materials.
Yeah.
But I definitely worked for some of them.
But I think that in generally speaking, I think Asian parents are definitely tough. Also, they have very high expectations in general. Not all the time, obviously. We're talking about like majority of people or, you know, kind of like stereotypes, but they do really have like high expectations in academic, you know?
How do you think that affect you when it comes to relationships and dating?
They obviously want someone who have high degrees, you know, like they want someone who has a high education in general. That's the bottom line, you know, like one of the first thing they would ask to another partner, they're like in the like background questions would be like, oh, so what university did they go to or something like that. Like that's like very, very common questions in Korea. Like what university did they graduate from? Like
I think same.
Maya was like, my man is dropped out.
I think same with my parents though. They always want to know like, oh, what'd she do? What'd she do for work? What'd she do for a living?
General, yeah. What she did for a living, you know?
Yeah. But if my parents didn't care, I mean, I think some parents might not care about that if they're from a different upbringing. But both my parents worked every day, still working, you know. So it's important. They still ask, "What is Jada doing for work?" She's making YouTube videos, Mom. They don't understand that though.
They don't understand the culture of making money on online.
Why do you think? Why do you think my culture is hard? I mean, I have my own opinion, but why do you think?
I think that because it's more about survival.
Yeah.
It's versus living your life. I think that as a minority, as myself too, as an Asian, like we need to always think of what could like get us like living better, like survival wise.
Yeah, I think black people in America they were oppressed for a long time, so they approach everything, at least like my parents' generation, is kind of like out of lack, you know?
Yeah.
Like we got to get this. Like money's always scarce, resources always scarce.
My parents like that
always
too.
Trying to save money.
Frugal.
Always never really in a state of abundance. I'm trying to break that tradition.
Yeah.
I'm trying to break that social norm or cultural norm because I don't see the world like that. They're just like so tight to let go of a dollar. I think that's why people experience like financial problems because they can't let the energy flow. They're so attached to a single dollar, or when when inflation ramps up, or when the prices in the economy, which is going to continue to happen, you know, they're always just in a state of fear rather than focusing on what you already have, you know?
Yeah. I always realize that too through my parents, like looking at them, like seeing them, like it seems like everything is not enough, you know. It's always not enough, you know. They always say, oh, we don't have enough money to like do things and so, but they probably had that, you know, money if they raised us and then supported me financially to come to the United States and do all the music and art stuff, they did have money, but then they always have the mindset of we should always keep it and save it for something else, or that's not like, we don't do that, like we don't have enough to do, like live life.
And I'm all for like planning for the future, and like you should do that, but the future's not guaranteed. So if you have money today, then technically you're good, you know?
Yeah.
You're in abundance. If you have money today, if there's money in your account today, or if you have food or you have resources today.
If you sleep under the roof, you have
and
enough.
If you focus on that, what you do have, then you attract more.
If you breathe right now, you have enough.
Exactly.
You have oxygen.
Yeah, so my parents, they instilled a lot of discipline, but they also instilled a lot of fear when it comes to finances and stuff for me.
I think that's also generation stuff, not just a culture thing, you know?
Yeah.
Their generation is different than ours. Like boomers, they're like hard workers. They're like American dreams here, you know?
Yeah, but I do have friends where like they didn't really grow up with that, and like they're Caucasian, they're white, and they when it comes to money, obviously like in this capitalistic society, there's never enough when things are just continuously getting more expensive.
Yeah.
But the way they spend, like their relationship with money is different.
True.
Like I see them spend on things that they want more freely because they know that they're going to get it back. Yeah. And then like I notice people like my brother, obviously we grew up with the same foundation.
Right.
He's like very like, he doesn't want to like spend on certain things, and John's like that too. My friends, they're very like, they're afraid to just let go of the money for some reason, and I've been like that too, and I definitely got it from my parents.
Yeah, I'm still working on that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what about you? What do you think, like, as far as money, how do you think it affected you?
Like from my parents, like observing from my parents, I think definitely I have that in me. Like, oh, I have to always save. I have to always like spend less. But when you spend less, you gain less too. It has to flow. You know, money is an energy. Once you like give, once you give to someone, once you spend on it, you're gonna get it back. Like if you know, if you know the law of the money, right? So I think I'm like subconsciously conditioned to think like that, but I'm trying to get out of that mindset over time. It's very active training for me. Like I have to change my thinking patterns of my relationship with money.
Yeah, I think when it comes to relationship, like both people have to be in that mindset. One person can't be so fearful and lack-minded when it comes to finances, and the other one's just spending abundantly, you know?
Almost like too much.
Yeah, because that's going to create problems. So
definitely. That's going to be a huge problem.
That's going to be a huge problem because
disalignment.
It's honestly one person's in lack and one person isn't, you know? So it's going to cause conflict.
Yeah.
At least financially, and you guys are going to be not agreeing on things.
Yeah.
But I think if both people kind of, and not just financially, but always focus on abundance and always try to put your mind on what you do have, then it makes for a lot healthier relationship. Oh, I'm turning fast.
But I'm going back to where we're talking about like our parents' tough love. I want to say this though, like I love tough love. I like our culture. It's just very transparent to me. Like no fake shit, you know. Sometimes we just speak, like we just talk directly. Like you look fat, you know, because probably I am fat at the moment, you know.
Probably they're not they're not lying to you.
They're not lying to me, at least. Could it be better with the way they deliver? Yes, it could. But at the same time, I didn't take it serious. I didn't take it personally, so I was like, oh shit, okay, now I'm time to lose weight or something, you know. Yeah,
see, that's where your culture is tougher.
And then it's like intention too. Like they didn't say that because they wanted to hurt me. They just say that what they observed, like, oh, you look fat in this picture. It's like, I probably was fat, you know. So I think that's kind of like different culturally, like with tough love. Like some people don't understand. A lot of people didn't understand when I moved to America, like why I acted this way with my family and friends, how I acted with them, because they saw like they thought it was I'm too mean or they were too mean to me, you know. But I didn't see that way. I just like we're just really direct and then transparent. Honestly, like no sugar coated.
Yeah, it took me a while to get used to the directness, but now I appreciate it. I think it even helped me be more direct. But with your culture, yeah, that is where I would say it's tougher, you know? Or you guys are harder, just because in America everything seems sugar coated. Like people won't really,
especially California.
people won't really tell you like, oh, you look fat. I'm sure some people's families do that, but even my family, they'll ask things like, oh, how's your weight? Or like, you know,
they like detour.
Yeah, they detour. When all they really are saying, like, hey, you look a little bigger than last time.
Yeah. I mean, your parents are a little more direct than other parents.
Oh, my mom is.
Your mom, yeah. She's half Asian. See?
That's true. That's true.
I remember this, what was the name of the comedian, the Asian comedian that we were supposed to watch on Netflix?
Jimmy something?
Jimmy Choo? Jimmy Choo.
That's a designer.
Jimmy
something
Chang or something.
Yeah,
that was like it was one of his the comedy series. He was like, what's your love language, and then what's your parents' love language, and he was like, my parents' love language was a verbal abuse.
Yeah,
so I totally agree with that. Yeah, it's just how you see it, how you take it too, and try to see their intention. Their intention is like, oh, if their person is like trying to hurt you, or they just say what they observe,
how they feel,
how
they see it logically.
Yeah.
And the last thing I want to say is like, love is supposed to be tough.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to always be easy.
No.
It's supposed to be, if someone's telling you something that's may feel harsh to you, it's probably because they care about you. That's all it is. They just want to make sure that you know. And yeah, sometimes it's going to come off a little bit harsh, but that's just the truth and that's the reality. So we should all get used to accepting that.
Yeah. I think it really comes down to how you deliver.
Yeah.
If your intention is genuine and really truly comes from love, not trying to hurt somebody, and not from pain, not from jealousy or anything, then you will figure out the way you deliver, even if it's tough, even if it's like tough truth. It's a crucial truth, you know?
Yeah.
And then love's supposed to like embrace the truth, even if it's a hard thing. You know, it's not always pretty, honestly. It's not always beautiful. And then it's not always pretty, but that's what makes it beautiful because of that.
That was deep, babe. That's all I got. I can't top that.
Yeah.